All right, guys. Just same thing as last night. Injuries from the game. Danny Gray with his ankle. He'll be day to day. Go ahead.
Kyle, what's the practice schedule for this week, and how did you arrive at the idea to go to Colorado? Because it seems like there's two schools of thought. Some teams going late, some teams going early.
Yeah, we just talking to a few other teams who've done it before. Then having all our guys here, starting with Ben, just research the science of it and give us the recommendation of what they thought helped the most. And they thought getting there earlier, getting acclimated to it earlier would help us on Monday night. So that's why we made that decision. And we're taking off tomorrow. So we got 8 days with the extra days. We're treating tomorrow. We treated today actually like a true Monday. We just finished reviewing all the game, just finished it with all the players. Tomorrow will be basically the off day. We'll travel there. And then that Wednesday will be a Tuesday. And then we'll be in a normal week there that Thursday. So then I think, we head to Mexico City on Sunday.
How will those practices be normal tempo and pace and things like that, or do you have to do it a little different because of the altitude?
No, they'll be normal. It's just like when we went to Denver and scrimmaged against them for a week back in 19. If guys are struggling and stuff, it's practice. So you stop and you take a break, or you take that guy out and have him not go. But you want to practice in that altitude because the more days you spend in it, the more your body gets used to it, and so hopefully it'll make it easier for us Monday night.
Kyle, how do you feel about these games in other countries? I know you're only going to be in Mexico for about 24 hours, but do you enjoy them, and do you expect there to be a lot of 49er fans there?
This is my first one, so I never like flying too far. That's always tough, but and with this being my first one, the fact that we're going to Mexico, I think is awesome. It's not too far away. I feel like Mexico is as close of a second home for us. I think our fan base here in California and in Mexico is unbelievable. I go down to Cabo a lot, and there's a great group of Mexican fans down there, so hoping it's the same there in Mexico City. So I'm actually excited to do it and go there, be a part of it. But for us, it's just like going to any other place. You get to the hotel that night, the next day you take a bus over to the stadium. As soon as it's over, you head to the airport. But it will be cool to see a different fan base.
Does Armstead have a chance to play this week?
He does have a chance.
You expect him to return to practice then?
I'm not sure. He's going to continue rehabbing. It says foot/ankle. And we'll see on Thursday when we got a chance to practice.
Now that you got a second look at or a good look, I assume, at the Dre Greenlaw play, what are your thoughts about the ejection?
It's similar to how I felt yesterday. I haven't got a chance to talk to anybody. I know John did, but I definitely hit helmet with them, so I fully understood the penalty. John got to speak with them, so I'll probably speak with John later in here, but we'll get the information from them, and whatever it is, we'll try to help our players and see how they can avoid it. I do feel the same as far as I know Dre's intent on the play and what he was trying to do, and he's trying to stop him from getting a first and nothing more. So hopefully, with John talking to them, we'll be able to understand it, and hopefully be able to tell them something to try to help them prevent it.
Kyle, are you under the impression that he will not be suspended?
I'm not. I haven't talked to anyone, but I'm not expecting him to. But I don't know. I just finished with the players and really came right into here. So, but yeah, I'd be very surprised if he was. Dre's. I don't know. I feel like he's almost a first-time offender. It's not something he's done much, and I think he's been pretty good at that stuff. So it surprised me.
Kyle, a couple of defensive
Yeah,
players, Warner and Bosa, were both thought that, as well as you guys are playing on defense, the thing that can really separate you is if you get more takeaways. And I don't know how you exactly practice that or plan for that, and they come when they come. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh yeah, I totally agree. Takeaways are huge, and the best defenses usually get a lot of takeaways. I thought we were getting, I want to say, a number of them earlier on. We almost went 2 full games without one right here, but we got one on the last play, which was huge. I think we've had a couple opportunities to get our hands on the ball that we come short on, but I think usually turnovers come down to how much you get after the quarterback, and I think we can do that a little bit more.
Al, how important on the IU 24-yarder was what Brunskill delivered? It looked like they brought that zero blitz up the middle, and he might have gotten a piece of 2 guys.
Yeah, it's huge. They brought more than we had in protection, so there's always one guy who ends up having 2 guys. We call it a double bump, just so you've got to bump each guy so you can slow them down just enough to hopefully allow the quarterback to get the ball off, and hopefully to allow him not to get hit. And he did both. It was a huge play for us.
Oh, I know you touched on this a little bit last night about, how you want to blow teams out, you want to score a lot and all that. With all the offensive playmakers you have at the skill positions, you guys are averaging 22 points a game, 18th in the league. Is there anything you can put your finger on why things haven't clicked, including last night on a more regular basis? And do you see that things are improving and moving in the direction where the offense can start to carry more of the load here in the second half of the season?
Yeah, I see it every week. I saw we had the opportunity to do that yesterday. Not clicking. I think, we got inside the 10-yard line 5 times and scored touchdowns on 2 of them. So I believe if we did on those other 3, I feel we would have been clicking huge. We would have had over 30 points, and things are going pretty good. So, if you go to that game, I think we need to be better inside the 10. But there's, lots of things that I thought we were moving it great. I thought guys did a good job. We added 1 new running back, and we lost our leading rusher running back. So I don't feel like we've added just all these new guys. I know we brought in Christian, and we lost Jeff, and I'm real excited about having Christian here. But it's not changing up a ton of stuff. We do what we do, and I thought our guys did it at a pretty high level last night. But when you end up scoring only 2 times and you're inside the 10 5 times, it's tough to get more than 30 points.
So to just follow up on that, then why do you think there were the problems specifically last night inside the red zone or even inside just the 10-yard line?
One, we had a drop touchdown. Another, we had 2nd and goal from the 8. I thought we should have scored on a run. One, we threw a bubble when I think we shouldn't have, which got us in the 3rd and goal from the 8. That was the one that we dropped. And at the very end of the game, I wanted to make sure they used that timeout. Probably would have had a better chance of scoring if we threw it from the 2 there on 3rd and goal from the 2. And I think that was worth the risk. I wanted to make sure, regardless of what happened, that they had no timeouts. So that was the decision there. But I'll say those 3 things.
Basically, you're saying a different reason for all of those, all those misfires.
Yeah, there'll always be a reason. There's 3 times in there that we didn't score. So, it'd be a lot easier with film and a tape and to show you exactly. But, that's when you ask, what's going on with an offense, why we're not clicking. That was the answer. And when I think it comes to points, I think when you're over whatever we were on 3rd down, which is 50% or something, I think that leads the league by a ton. I think we ran for 150 yards. I think we threw for 250. I'd love to have that turnover back that we had. But I do think there were a lot of things clicking. But you're not going to get points if you move it and can't score inside the 10. You're not going to get enough points, that's for sure. And But you want to go to a different game, I can answer those too. But usually it's hard to just put it in a sentence because it does come down to football plays. It doesn't. It comes down to how you execute them, how you do things, how you play. It's everything.
Now, Jimmy, in the last couple of games, the one to McCaffrey and then the play last night to McLeod, done a couple of some really good things with off-schedule plays. And, you know, is he doing that better now than he's done it previously?
I mean, those were two big ones. I mean, the one to Ray and then the touchdown to Christian last week down in the red zone. So those were two big ones. I think that stuck out. But I mean, I think Jimmy does a few of those a game, and but those are some big ones there. You know, if we don't make those versus the Rams, you know, I think we hit all of those in all those situations. I think our 3 drives, when we got down there, we scored on all of them. But that's what it comes down to. You miss just a couple of those, and it's a whole different story. You make all those, and you go from a top red zone team to a middle of the pack team, and that's what every team in this league's trying to do. I think we have opportunities there. I think we're never really just stagnant and struggling to move it or anything. But we definitely want to reach our potential, and we've had a number of games where we left a lot of points on the board.
There have been reports that Odell Beckham has the Niners on his list of teams he'd be interested in signing with. Is that interest reciprocated by y'all? Is that a consideration?
We consider everything.
And so you would consider or have considered Odell Beckham?
You throw that in everything.
Aaron Banks has had a pretty solid year this season. What do you give a credit to why he's playing at such a pretty high level?
I mean, he's a good player. He's worked real hard. I mean, I'd say he put in as much work as anyone on our team this offseason. Just from when the season ended to when the season started, it seemed like there was no difference from him. I see him out my window every day. All the stuff that his weaknesses, he doesn't try to avoid. He really tries to work at and get those better, and he's got a lot of strengths. And when he's gotten into these games, I think he hasn't gotten overwhelmed. And because of that, because of the work he's put in, because he's been able to stay healthy too in these games, that's allowed him to get better. I feel like just with each experience, with each situation he goes in, and the guy had a baby this week, so now he's a lot more mature, and so he's got a lot of good things going for him. But I've been real happy with Aaron.
Okay, 2 more.
You put in a claim for Jerry Tillery of the Chargers. Is that a reflection of any concern about Armstead or Kinlaw?
No, I don't think so. No, he's just a good player that came available and wanted to take our shot at it.